placing an implant in an extraction site immediately after extraction of the tooth. In this case, the tooth was internally resorbed and we lost the crown when the extraction was taking place, leaving the root in the bone. We use the Easy Extract system to extract that root. Now we're to the implant placement stage. I see that my alveolar crest to apex measured length is about 14. So my pilot drill will have a rubber stopper measurement or stop at about 12 or 13. Lots of water, and the pilot drill is operating at a 20-to-1 ratio at 1200 RPMs. You see that rubber stopper stops at the alveolar crest. Now I'm reflecting just enough tissue for me to be able to visualize the alveolar crest. It's important that you visualize the alveolar crest when placing the implant so you can insert all the screws in the socket. You don't want any of the screws on the implant to be coronal to the alveolar crest. You can see from our digital radiograph that the pilot drill is the perfect length. I'm going to remeasure to confirm that length. You can see the pilot drill measurement from the tip of the drill to the rubber stopper is 15. So I'm going to use a 14 millimeter dentist root form implant drill. The thing I really like about these drills is they have a shoulder. I don't know about you, but I hated it when I had a system that had a spinning silver drill and a black line on it. And you're supposed to watch that line for the measurement in the midst of all that water and all that saliva and it's spinning, and determine with each drill when you had the right depth. That's the scary part of implants. The beauty of this dentist system is once you determine your depth, you just go to the next burr, and they've each got a shoulder, in this case at 14 millimeters. So it takes all the fear out of it. Very slow, up and down movement, lots of water, and that shoulder will stop at the alveolar crest. It keeps the drill from penetrating any further. I love this. Okay, so next we go to the 2.8 diameter drill, again at 14 millimeters. Place the extender on that drill. 800 RPMs again, lots of water. This is sterile saline. I take the drill down to the shoulder, which is 14 millimeters in this case. Once we have attained a 3.7 millimeter drill, and it's gone to place, now we come back with the dentist root form implant, which is 3.7 at 14. It's important that the implant not touch metal, so don't let it touch the retractor. So I hand tighten it as far as I can, then come back with the torque wrench. In a perfect world, the torque wrench is torqued to 35 Newton centimeters, which is the third arrow. Since we're not loading the implant at this time, and we're grafting it, and we're going to put a resorbable membrane over it, it doesn't have to be 35 Newton centimeters because the bone is going to grow into the implant. It's going to osseointegrate. But the gold standard is 35 Newton centimeters if you can get it. So I want the coronal part of the implant to be at the alveolar crest such that all the threads are in the root form preparation. And it's torqued to 35 Newton centimeters, so that's perfect. Now obviously when you extract a tooth and you place an implant, the bone is not going to contact the implant all the way around. There are going to be some voids. In these cases we need to use bone graft material and a resorbable collagen matrix. Now we're going to place the healing cap that comes with the implant. You only want to finger tighten the healing cap. You don't want to use the torque wrench. You certainly don't want to torque it to 35 Newton centimeters. Either only finger tighten it, or if you use the torque wrench, don't torque it all the way to 35 Newton centimeters. Just minimal torque to get the job done, which is keep the healing cap in place. So in this case, this is a flat healing cap and it only covers the implant. Now the BioOz can sell us minimum small diameter bone graft material, and I'm placing that in the voids around the implant. This is a plastic dental scaling instrument. You don't want to touch the implant with a dissimilar metal. that creates some kind of galvanic situation that could cause the implant to be lost. So I'm wetting the membrane in sterile saline. The purpose of the collagen membrane is to give the bone a head start in healing on the soft tissue. Soft tissue heals faster than bone. So if you don't put a resorbable collagen membrane or some type of membrane over the bone graft material, soft tissue will grow into the bone graft material before fresh bone grows into the bone graft material. This gives the bone about a 3-month head start on the soft tissue so that you get bone around the implant and not soft tissue. This is resorbable 4-0 gut suture, and I'm going to place 3 suture. Whenever you suture the flap, you don't want to make it real tight. If you make it real tight to the point of blanching, the stitch will pull through and the flap won't be snug against the membrane of the implant. So just snug but not tight is what you want with suturing.